What if everything you thought about mental toughness was wrong? What if it's not about grinding until you burn out or suffering in silence through every hardship? What if the key to real, unshakable mental strength is not in how much pain you can endure, but in what you choose to walk away from? It might sound counterintuitive, but the strongest minds aren't the ones that fight every battle. They're the ones that know which battles aren't worth fighting at all. Today, we're diving into 5 powerful truths, 5 things that mentally tough people never do. These aren't just tips or motivational quotes, they're life-changing shifts in mindset, grounded in ancient Stoic wisdom. And once you understand them, you'll never look at adversity the same way again. So, ready to train your mind like a true Stoic warrior? Let's jump in. Mentally, tough people never make excuses. Let's start with the biggest one. Mentally tough people do not make excuses, ever. In Stoicism, one of the foundational ideas is that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our perception of them. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of history's most famous Stoic thinkers, said it best. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Excuses are like mental exit doors. They give us a way out of responsibility, a way to avoid discomfort. And let's be honest, sometimes they feel good in the moment. It wasn't my fault. I didn't have the tools. I was too busy. Sound familiar? But here's the harsh truth. Every time you make an excuse, you're handing over your power. Mentally tough people own their actions, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. They know that growth comes from discomfort. They don't blame their boss, the weather, or their childhood. They focus on what they can control. Their response. Let's say you missed a deadline. Instead of blaming the traffic, the tech issues, or your team, stop and ask yourself, what could I have done differently? That simple question opens the door to growth and slams the door on victimhood. Because once you stop making excuses, you start making progress. Mentally, tough people never dwell on the past. Raise your hand if you've ever replayed a mistake over and over in your head, like a bad movie on loop. You're not alone. But here's the deal. Mentally tough people don't live in the past. They learn from it and let it go. The past is like a burned-out candle. It once gave light, maybe even heat. But now it's wax and smoke. You can't relight it. You can't change it. And holding on to it only keeps your hands full when they should be free to reach for what's ahead. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In other words, the past doesn't define you. Your response to it does. Mentally tough people use past failures as fuel, not as chains. Made a mistake at work. They reflect, take responsibility, adjust, and move forward. Got rejected in a relationship. They acknowledge the pain, but don't let it poison their future. Why? Because they know that dragging yesterday into today only robs tomorrow of its potential. Imagine driving a car while only looking in the rearview mirror. You wouldn't get far. You'd probably crash. The same is true in life. Glance at the past. Learn from it. But keep your eyes on the road ahead. Mentally tough people never chase validation from others. This one hits deep. In a world built on likes, followers, and endless comparison, it's tempting, almost addictive, to seek constant approval. But mentally tough people have learned something most of us struggle with. The only validation that truly matters comes from within. They don't base their self-worth on compliments, praise, or applause, because they know that if you live for validation, you'll die from rejection. Marcus Aurelius kept a private journal, his Meditations, where he reminded himself over and over that inner peace comes from aligning your actions with your values, not with other people's opinions. He ruled an empire, yet still understood the fragility of public opinion. Let's say you've poured your heart into a project. You've worked late nights, given it your best, and when you present it, you get silence, maybe even criticism. A mentally tough person doesn't crumble. They don't spiral, because their sense of pride doesn't depend on applause. It depends on effort, on integrity, on showing up and doing the work regardless of the outcome. Think of validation like dessert. It's sweet when it comes, but it can't be the main course. You can't survive on it. Mentally tough people feed themselves with purpose, not praise. So next time you catch yourself asking, do they like me? Am I good enough? Flip the script. Ask, do I like who I'm becoming? That's the only question that matters. So far, we've uncovered 3 powerful habits that mentally tough people avoid: making excuses, dwelling on the past, and chasing validation. Each one is a mental trap that quietly steals your energy and clarity. But there's more. To truly build a mind that can weather any storm, you need to go deeper. Let's continue with 2 more principles that mentally strong people live by, and that you can start using right now to change how you navigate life. Mentally, tough people never fear. Change. Just the word itself can stir up discomfort. A new job, a shift in your relationship, a sudden life detour. It can feel like standing at the edge of a cliff, unsure of what's waiting below. But here's the truth. Mentally tough people don't fear change. They don't waste energy resisting what's already in motion. Instead, they meet it with open arms. Why? Because they understand a powerful truth rooted in Stoic philosophy. Change is not the enemy. It's the nature of life itself. The Stoics taught us that while we can't control the winds of fate, we can adjust our sails. Life is constantly shifting, and trying to cling to the way things were is like trying to stop the tide with your hands. It's exhausting, and it's pointless. Imagine this. You're cruising along your career path when suddenly the company restructures. Your role is gone. For some, that's panic-inducing. But the mentally strong pause, breathe, and say, okay, what's next? They don't let the fear of the unknown paralyze them. Instead, they get curious. They look for the lesson. They ask, how can this change help me grow? Think about how much energy we waste fighting things that are outside our control. When you stop doing that, you make room for clarity, for creativity, for unexpected opportunities. It's not always easy. Fear of change is deeply human. But mentally tough people retrain that fear. They don't let it stop them. They use it as a signal that something new is beginning, something worth stepping into. Change is not the end. It's the next chapter. Mentally, tough people never lose sight of their values. And finally, this last one is the anchor, the quiet force that keeps mentally tough people grounded, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. Mentally tough people never lose sight of their values, even when the pressure's on, even when the easy way out is tempting, even when the reward for compromise seems just within reach. They stay true to who they are. Why? Because they know that without their values, they have nothing solid to stand on. Stoicism teaches that our values, honesty, integrity, discipline, kindness, are what give us direction. They're not just ideals. They're the foundation for every decision, every action, every response we give to the world. Picture this. You're at work. There's an opportunity to take a shortcut, bend the rules just enough to get ahead. No one would notice. You'd probably even be praised for the result. But in that moment, you feel it. That tension in your chest, that little voice asking, is this who I want to be? Mentally tough people listen to that voice. They understand that betraying their values for short-term gain leads to long-term regret. It creates inner conflict, and nothing robs you of peace faster than being out of alignment with yourself. Instead of chasing approval or rewards, they choose consistency. They choose self-respect. Because when your values guide your actions, you don't have to second-guess your choices. You know where you stand. And the best part? Others see it too. Integrity is magnetic. People trust those who live by their principles, not just their performance. So if you're ever in doubt, come back to your values. They're your compass in the storm. Final message: call to action. Now you know the 5 things mentally tough people never do. It's not about trying to become invincible or pretending life doesn't shake you. It's about knowing what to let go of. Excuses, regrets, validation, fear of change, and anything that pulls you away from your values. Mental strength isn't built in loud moments of triumph. It's shaped in quiet decisions, every single day. So, which of these 5 things are you ready to stop doing? Let us know in the comments. I read every one. And if this message resonated with you, take a second to hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs it. Because chances are, they're facing the same inner battles you are. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights grounded in Stoic wisdom. Guidance that doesn't just inspire you, but equips you to face the world with clarity and confidence. Until next time, stay strong. And remember, it's not what happens to you, it's how you choose to respond.